In today's video, we're going to talk about the restrictions that debt collectors have when they are trying to communicate with you for a debt collection that they have purchased or a debt collection that they are trying to collect for their client. There are rules that are in place. We all know about the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act, but some of the times people, or maybe you, don't know that they are actually violating your rights with the way that they're trying to communicate with you, because it just seems like it's a normal thing that they're able to do. So we're going to talk about three things that I think that are very important moving forward with debt collector communications that I want to make you aware of. First, please like this video. The algorithm requires it. So I'm going to ask you, you know that I come through on my videos. I appreciate you being subscribers. If you're not a subscriber yet, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. So please like this video. In this video, we're going to talk about three main things that I want you to be aware of, fully aware of, on how debt collectors are getting away with abusing the rights of individuals who they've either purchased a debt to collect on or they're trying to collect it for their clients. And the Fair Debt Collections Practices Act spells it out clearly that they're not allowed to do this, but they do this stuff a lot. Now, I make these videos because, number one, I want to help you be able to move forward in your life financially with your credit, to help you get out of debt. I want to help you not have surprises where people are knocking at your door and saying that they're going to sue you, or where you can't answer your telephone because debt collectors are trying to call. It got you full of anxiety. I want you to be able to avoid that stuff. I know that you want to be able to live a comfortable life, no surprises, protect your money, protect your credit. The way that you're gonna get there is by understanding your rights. When you understand your rights, you're able to fight back against debt collectors for whatever reason. Even if you ended up making, settlements with them, at least you know your rights when dealing with these companies, because they just step on people because they don't expect people to know their rights when dealing with them. And some of the stuff can be so subtle. Some of the violations that debt collectors make can be so subtle that you don't even realize it. So first, with that being said, we're going to start with the first one. And this is section 1006.22F2. This is straight from the CFPB website, but this is what's considered Regulation F, which is what debt collectors have to conform to when they're trying to collect the debt, either from debt that they've purchased or from debt that they're trying to collect on behalf of their clients. So, language or symbol. Some of you probably never heard of this before, but this is straight on there. Section 1006.22F2 provides, in relevant part, that a debt collector must not use any language or symbol other than the debt collector's address on any envelope when communicating with a consumer by mail. And then continuing on, it says, for purposes of 1006.22F Section 2, the phrase language or symbol does not include language and symbols that facilitate communication by mail, such as the debtor's name and address, postage, language such as forward and address correction requested. So they can have all of that stuff on there. They can have their barcode for their, like if they're using, a stamp service. They can do that, or stamp payment service. Now, when it comes to using a third-party service, no. They cannot utilize a third-party service to mail out debt collection letters. That is a no-no. They cannot put on the envelope final notice or debt collection notice. They cannot put none of that type of stuff on the envelope. If you get something like that, they're in violation, you can utilize that to have them cancel out that debt, not to send it to the IRS. I'm talking about where they're going to cease collection activities. But you got to notate that. And if you point out this section right here, 1006.22 F section 2, you will be able to get that debt cease collection, and they cannot sell that debt because they have a straight up violation. The next one is email address described in section 1006.6D4. So in section 3 of the same section that we just talked about, 1006.22F3 generally prohibits a debt collector from communicating or attempting to communicate with a consumer by sending an email to an email address that the debt collector knows is provided to the consumer by the consumer's employer. I've spoke about this before. Debt collectors are not able to communicate with you through your employer's email. Now, if you allowed them, you gave them permission to communicate with you through your employer's email, they can do that. Now, how could they find out your email, your employee email from your employer? They can go on a website. Remember, when they're looking to collect on a debt, they're trying to get all of this information. It might be either on an application, it might be on a website where your individual email address could be listed in the customer service section of the company that you work for. And then they're going to try to communicate with you through there. That is a straight up violation. If you did not give them permission to communicate with you through your employee email through your company, even if you own your own company, they're not allowed to do it. Even if you own your own company, they have to still go through your personal email unless you give them permission. Now, you might be saying, well, I don't know if I gave them permission. What you can do is if they communicate with you through your employee or your company email, ask them, show me the document that I allowed you to communicate to me through this email. If they cannot provide that to you, I just showed you the section where you can write back to them and say you're in violation by communicating with me through my employee email or my company email. Did not give you permission to do that. Now let's go to the next section. Section 1006.22F, Section 4 prohibits a debt collector from communicating or attempting to communicate with a person in connection with the collection of a debt through social media platforms. If the communication or attempt to communicate is viewable by the general public or the person's social media contacts. Debt collectors get away with this a lot because people just don't know. Debt collectors cannot, in the way that they gotta see, you might be thinking, why would they want to do that? How? Remember, some of you might be too young to even remember how they used to do this by phone. This is the way they do it by phone. They'll call someone up. As a matter of fact, hold on a second. I got to pause the video a second. This is crazy. I didn't even know I was going to use this. Okay, now, I got a letter in the mail to my company for a former employee. It was addressed to the former employee. I called the former employee and I said, you got a letter that came here. And they were like, well, I didn't give anyone, it's been years. It's actually been about 4 or 5 years since that employee worked for me. And I was like, well, it's a letter addressed to you. They just said, open it up. I haven't had anything that should be coming to the office. I've been gone a long time. They just said, open it up. Guess what? When I opened that letter up, it was a letter addressed to the former employee that worked for me, but it was asking, we're trying to get in touch with someone who put you as a reference on their loan application, and we haven't been able to get in contact with them. Do you have any information about the whereabouts of this individual? That's the way, that's the old style that they did it. So the same thing, they could go to your social media account as an individual, you know, not as a debt collector, just as an individual. Hey, trying to get in touch with such and such. Have you been able to get in touch with them? And then that person, not knowing, they think that, you know, that the debt collection company, whoever the person that they put to try to get in touch with you, they put, have them looking like it could be one of your friends from the past or whatever. And then they say, oh yeah, I'll let them know that you're trying to get in touch with them. That's how they're doing it on social media. They cannot do that. But you can see how subtle that is. Oh, you're just trying to get in touch with them? It's social media. It's about connecting people with other people or finding people who were friends with someone in the past or whatever it is. It's so subtle, you don't even know that it's a violation. Is it a violation the way that the letter that I just got that was addressed to a former employee to contact about someone else that they knew that was put on the application? The bridge that they're utilizing by doing that in the mail is they said that this individual put you down as a reference on their application. Now, from reading the letter, there is no violations talking about the specific reason why, but the thing is that it had the debt collector's name on that piece of mail that was received, that was going to the former employee. So we can kind of assume what the whole letter was about. And then when you're trying to say we can't get in touch with someone, only time that debt collector is trying to get in touch with someone that they're going to try to go through someone else to try to find out what's going on with them is because they owe money to them. So in a way, you could say you shared my debt situation with an unauthorized third party. Could say that they're going to try to use the bridge of they put you down as a reference. So it's some gray area in that, but I think that if a debt collector purchased a debt, that's going to be something that they're going to have to potentially deal with and make a decision on if that could potentially be shown as a violation by them sending that letter, and it is from a debt collector. All right. If you need help with your credit, visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch video What Makes Us Different so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website your3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian credit reports in all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you early in the game, grab my 3-pack of letters: statute of limitations letter, debt validation letter, and cease and desist collection activities letter. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Post your questions and comments. This is Stephen A. Williams, President and Founder of thecreditrepairshop.com.